What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and give me all your takes down below in the comment section. And be on the lookout for the Dodgers Nation Word of the Day. We're giving out over $1,000 worth of cash and prizes this month. All you have to do is spot that Word of the Day. It'll flash on the screen at some point during this video. And once you spot that Word of the Day, all you have to do is go to our About page, email us that word, and you're entered to win. We're giving away over $1,000 worth of cash and prizes. Good luck. Secure that bag, Dodgers Nation. And for all the latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. And we've got some breaking news. The San Diego Padres have agreed to a 14-year, $340 million contract with Fernando Tatis Jr. Yes, $340 million across 14 seasons. FTJ's $340 million extension is the third largest contract ever handed out in big league history, right behind Mike Trout's 12-year, $426.5 million deal and Mookie Betts' 12-year, $365 million deal. So San Diego said, we've seen enough. This guy is going to be the face of our franchise for more than a decade. This guy could be headed to the Hall of Fame one day. He's a transcendent generational player, and in just 143 games, he slashed .301, .374, .582, has a 150 WRC plus, 39 bombs, and 27 stolen bases. So this guy, very productive in a limited showing at the big league level. But you know when you see it with Fernando Tatis Jr., there's no question this guy is elite. This guy is a superstar. There's no denying that Fernando Tatis Jr. is a bona fide superstar. And if you're San Diego, you got a great deal. This is a bargain price for a potentially MVP player. This guy could have multiple MVP trophies when it's all said and done. And you're getting him at an AAV of just over $24 million. About $24.3 million. And when you look at the shortstop free agent class for the 2021-2022 offseason, just look at those names. You got Francisco Lindor, Trevor Story, Corey Seager, Javi Baez, Carlos Correa. Lots of big-name shortstops out there. And wait till you see the deals that they signed. This will look like an absolute bargain. And if you're Fernando Tatis Jr., you've just secured generational wealth after having played just 143 games. That's it. And you sign a $340 million contract. Yes, you could have entered his free agency at age 26 and got a big deal then, but I think that's a tough deal to turn down if you're FTJ. So I'm not surprised that Fernando Tatis Jr. wanted to sign a long-term deal. Pre-arbitration, you get that big bag. I am surprised it was a 14-year deal. I thought he would sign for a little less. That way he'd enter the market again when he has some prime years left. But hey, if you're San Diego, this is an absolute steal. I think this will be one of the first monster contracts where at the end of the deal, the player is the one that looks back and says, hey, maybe I shouldn't have signed that long of a deal. Maybe they robbed me worse than Cody Bellinger did in the NLDS.
At the wall, he leaps, and he made the catch. Cody Bellinger, a robbery of Tatis.
What a great catch by Cody Bellinger. One of the best catches in Dodgers history. But no, I'm proud of the San Diego Padres. I respect what they're doing down in San Diego because they are a small market team. Call them what you want. They are a small market team, but they're paying players. They signed Manny Machado to that $300 million contract. They're making moves to not only be competitive, they want to compete for a World Series title, and they could easily just fold like Superman on Laundry Day. And yes, I'm talking about you Diamondbacks and Rockies. Now the question is, what does this mean for Corey Seager and the Los Angeles Dodgers? Well, Corey Seager, now you start to set that market, you start to build those comps, but Corey Seager, he'll be going up against some of the other big shortstops in next year's free agent class. But right now, it looks like Francisco Lindor, he'll probably sign a long-term deal with the New York Mets. That would be my guess. And then it looks like the Rockies are wanting to commit to Trevor Story long-term. So will they lock up Trevor Story? And that leaves Carlos Correa, that leaves Javi Baez, and then you have Corey Seager. So if next year's free agent shortstop class isn't as robust as we thought it was going to be, then if Corey Seager can have another elite injury-free season, his market is going to continue to skyrocket. Last season, Corey Seager posted a 153 OPS plus. He had 15 home runs in 52 games, and then in the postseason, he went into God mode. Corey Seager went Corey Slugger all postseason long. He slashed 328, 425, 746, posted 1171 OPS, had 8 dingers in the postseason, won the NLCS MVP, and and won the World Series MVP. So will he replicate that season in 2021? Probably not. But if he gets close to having a great injury-free season, you could be talking $25 to $30 million per season for a 10-year deal for Corey Seager. I think that is going to be the bottom, is $25 million per year. So if you're Corey Seager and Scott Boras, you're saying, hey, these are all positive developments as long as I can stay healthy, as long as I can continue to produce. Because if he sustains an injury, if he has all these knick-knack injuries, he hits around 250, has an off year, then you might be looking at a really different contract. But I do think that something has really clicked with Corey Seager, and he'll be able to stay healthy for the remainder of his career. Because if he can avoid injury, you see he's one of the best players in all of Major League Baseball. He just has to stay on the diamond. Now, he's had some rough injuries. The hip surgery, the Tommy John, the hamstring. Some injuries have been piling up for Corey Seager in recent years, but we know when he's in there and he's healthy, he's a top 5 shortstop. There's no question about it. And I think if you're Corey Seager, you're in line for a big bag. You just have to have a big year. And let's not forget, Corey Seager is still just 26 years old. He's younger than Francisco Lindor. He's younger than Trevor Story. He's not younger than Carlos Correa, who's 26 but acts like a 2-year-old sometimes. So if Corey Seager has another big year, he'll be one of the most coveted free agents. He'll be one of the big headliners in next offseason's free agent class. And then the next question is the Dodgers versus the Padres a legitimate rivalry? Well, today, Bill Plunkett talked to Dave Roberts, and Dave Roberts said, you know what? I think it's been very well documented what they did this winter and how they've gotten better as an organization over the last 2-3 years. I'll be the first to tell our guys, I don't really care what the Padres do or don't do or any team in our division. The focus has got to be and has always been on how we prepare and how we play. Then everything will take care of itself. I don't mean to sound brash, or how do I say, I don't mean to sound arrogant, but the fact is I really don't care what moves the Padres make. Is the Dodgers versus the Padres a rivalry? Well, first of all, it'll never be what the Giants versus the Dodgers is. There's way too much history there. It'll never top that, but it definitely is the best matchup, the most anticipated matchup in all of Major League Baseball. If I was going to spend my money to see one game next season, it would be the Dodgers versus the Padres. It is very fierce. You can feel there's a different energy in the stadium when these two teams clash. Now, when we get fans in the stands, hopefully that's sooner than later. It's going to be absolutely electric when these two teams clash. It's going to be the hottest ticket in town to watch Fernando Tatis Jr. versus Mookie Betts, to watch Blake Snell go up against Austin Barnes, to watch Manny Machado versus Brusdar Graterol. Now, is it a true rivalry? I wouldn't say it is quite yet, because when you have a true rivalry, when you think of one team, you usually think of the other team. When you think of Yankees, you think of the Red Sox. When you think of UCLA, you think of USC. When you think of Michigan, you think of Ohio State. When you think of all these different rivalries throughout the years, you usually can associate one team with the next team, but I do think that it is evolving into a serious, bitter rivalry. But I think for the Dodgers and their fans to consider San Diego a real legitimate rival, the Padres are going to have to either win the NL West this year, prevent the Dodgers from winning their 9th straight division title, or beat the Dodgers in the postseason. Now, if they do both, then the rivalry is really on. But as of right now, the Padres haven't earned the right to call the Dodgers their rival because the Padres haven't won anything yet. But I do think it's the best matchup right now in all of Major League Baseball. If you want to call it a rivalry, go ahead and do so. But it doesn't mean it'll be the best rivalry 10 years from now. The Giants and Dodgers will always be each other's rivals. But look at the Lakers. The Lakers versus the Phoenix Suns, versus the Portland Trail Blazers, versus the Sacramento Kings. Every now and then in sports, you'll have these rivalries that'll start to develop, and it's usually based on the players on each respective teams and how good they are. It's the teams that are contending for titles that become rivals. And to me, you don't have to have just one rival. There is no rule that says you can only have one rival. Look at USC, UCLA, Notre Dame. There's plenty of examples there, and I think the Padres versus the Dodgers, that's the matchup I want to see. I'd rather see the Padres versus the Dodgers for 162 games this upcoming season than the Dodgers versus the Giants. So, to me, that is the matchup to watch this year in Major League Baseball. Get your popcorn, get your nachos, get your Dodger dogs ready, because it's going down between the Padres and the Dodgers this season. But I'm happy for the Padres. I'm happy for Tatis. Got himself some serious Fernando in this deal, and I'm happy for Padres fans. Look, here's a live look at San Diego after they announced the Fernando Tatis deal. But let me know down below in the comment section, is the Dodgers versus the Padres a legitimate, bona fide rivalry? I want your takes down below in the comment section. Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. And if you had to pick between Fernando Tatis Jr. and Corey Seager, who you rolling with? I want your takes down below in the comment section. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel for all latest Dodgers news, rumors, hype videos, podcasts, interviews. You're going to find it right here. So be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see more Dodgers content, hit that like button. We've still got the Dodgers Nation Word of the Day challenge going on. If you spotted today's Word of the Day, hit us up on our About page, email us that word, and you'll be entered to win. We're giving away over $1,000 worth of cash and prizes the entire month of February. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. For all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.